always a cat person, but definitely never planned to make it a career or write a book about it. I mean, in the very early days, the kind of overwhelming feeling of suddenly having 30 cats and being responsible for them, and of course they were sick at the time, they were very, very skinny and hungry at the time. I had never trapped cats before and actually didn't know how to trap a cat or that trapping a cat was a thing. I didn't know what trap, neuter, return was. It was a completely new world to me. You know, TNR is a pretty new thing historically. Tucson has only had TNR programs for the last 10 years or so, and Tucson is actually pretty ahead of the curve compared to a lot of cities. And now it has grown to such a point where I very regularly get messages from people who send me a picture of a cat in a trap and say, I just trapped this cat, like you inspired me. I just found a stray cat in my backyard and I know what to do because I saw your account. Yeah, a lot of my work with Trap, Neuter, Return now is through the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. I kind of realized early on that it didn't make sense for me to like found my own nonprofit because there were groups doing that work already and I didn't need to, reinvent the wheel. So I try to support the resources that already exist. And Tucson has great programs. PAC has an amazing community cats program. The Humane Society has an amazing community cats program. We've raised over $50,000 for their spay and neuter program. It's very obviously a book about cats, and there's a lot of cats. There's cat stories, there's cats on the cover, there's cat illustrations. There's actually a full list of cat names at the back of the book for reference if anyone needs a silly cat name. But I think it's also about so much more than cats. One of the original kind of ideas behind the book was that, I trap usually at night, and so usually late at night I'm driving around with cats in my car, driving back to the clinic, and usually just kind of thinking through everything I've witnessed that night, the people I've met and the cats I've seen, and it's just, it's a different story every time. But on all those late night drives, my thoughts would kind of start to coalesce around different topics and how we can use cat stories to look at those topics. And that was kind of the initial idea for the structure of the book was, one chapter is about cats and misogyny, cats and mental health, cats and homelessness. And one of my very first meetings with an editor, she described it as Trojan cats. You use cats as a way to get people in, but then you get to kind of talk about bigger topics. Yeah.